Hey guys, what's going on? I am here in my creative world because one more time I have built something that is completely ridiculous. Now the thing I want to show you this time is this right here. This looks pretty much like nothing right now because it's not turned on, it's not operating. But essentially what it is, you can tell by the title of the video, is it's a cow farm. And it is probably the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever built because it looks funny when it's running. So basically the idea was, I don't know if you've seen those micro cow farms or pretty much any iteration of that cow farm. If the cows are all bunched up together, they're hard to breed. You can't really get your hitbox on the right cow to give them the wheat and make them make a baby. But if you have them floating or jumping in water, then they spread out and you're able to click on the different cows and eventually you can breed all of them. So my idea was, how do I do that but bigger? How do I make more space for cows, because there's such a thing as entity cramming now. So after a certain number of entities are in one single space, they start to just die off. So my thought process was, what if they just continue moving? What if they never stop moving so that there's no way that many entities could be in the same block at the same time to the point where they start dying? So I came up with this. And essentially what it is a giant water loop, sort of just the water stream, pushes cows along the bottom. Then I got some soul sand down in there to lift them up to the top. And they go around and then drop down and so on. So the reason this is probably the most ridiculous thing I've ever built is what happens when it is full to the max. I did some testing to see what the actual maximum capacity is, and over time what happens is they get stuck right here and end up drowning and just they die, they perish, but their drops shoot up out of the top here, and it's kind of funny because it's like grinding the cows to their death. So it's not a perfect cow farm, but I do think it is pretty cool and it works. If you have less than 4 cows, none of them are going to die, so you're never actually going to run completely out of cows, so you won't ever be at 0. The reason for that is in the 4 corners, actually I guess just this corner in this system, the cows need a cow behind it to push it up the stream. So I guess 2 would be the minimum to get the cows to move around. But yeah, I noticed when I did it because I tried this before. This is like a vertical loop. I tried it before in a horizontal loop, and I noticed in that one especially you needed 4 cows. This one might actually work with just 2, but who wants just 2 cows? This thing was built for maximum output. So there's a couple things in here that I'm a little proud of. So like I said, the idea is to get a crap load of cows, and you do that by breeding them. So the idea is you stand right here, hold some wheat in your hand, and you breed the cows as they float on by. But you're just thinking to yourself, like, well, I can't possibly carry that much wheat in my inventory. I mean, there's all this space here for wheat, but that is not enough. So what I came up with is this right here. This is actually, it's not just to have a bunch of wheat. The entire point of this is so you could AFK and hold right click as they float by. While you're holding right click and there's wheat in your hand, you can breed them. So if you turn this on, you're never going to run out of wheat basically. So it's a item loop that runs perpendicular to the cow loop. And yeah, this one just uses hoppers and droppers and water streams, and because it uses the droppers, you can probably hear it right now, it's clicking. So I wanted to have a off switch, and I don't know, I had a farm like this before that had a dropper doing that clicking noise, and I didn't think to add something like this, so it was just constantly clicking in my world, and that was annoying. So yeah, never run out of wheat. And there's the collection system down here, and this is actually how I did the on and off for the clock. It's basically just a minecart that runs over this here, activating the dispensers. And this line right here, I'll show you in a second, it runs out the back up to the dispenser on the roof. The next thing that I'm kind of proud of, which is not a necessity if you want to build this in your world, but I had to build it in mine because after doing some testing, I was getting really tired of just killing cows with a sword, so I put in this purge system. Basically what happens is you flick this lever, and that closes off, that opens up, switching the direction of that water flow. Let me show you again. You see, so normally this is closed off and the water flows in the direction of the farm. But when you're like, hang on a second, I gotta test something. Let me get all these cows out of here. Flick the lever, water flow switches direction going this way. And there are so many cows crammed in this little area that they end up just dying anyways. But when you want to delete the rest, you just flick this and they suffocate. And I figured out that if the cows suffocate, you can still get their drops, so that's why that is there, to collect those. Like I said, it is not a necessity to get this farm to work. All you need is essentially from this block over, but I added this because it was cool and I needed to kill a lot of cows. So hiding the redstone was a little sloppy this time around. I pretty much just wanted the front of it to work. I imagine this being like an underground base. My multiplayer base right now is underground, so I kind of pictured it being built there. But in my creative world here, it is above ground. So I kind of just threw a bunch of stairs and slopes and tried to make it look as cool as possible while hiding all of the redstone that is behind it. Take one more trip underground just to show you guys what I have working here. This is the switch for the purge. It goes this way, activates those pistons and those ones there. As you can see, they're in opposite positions. The ones on the right of my cursor are closed and the ones on the left are open. So that means that that wall is closed and this wall is open. This line here runs to the delete system, powering this set of pistons. Might be hard to see in the video, it's a little dark down here. Okay, now that I've explained how everything works and why I added it, let's fill this thing up to the absolute max and see what happens. Now, like I said, the problems I was having with the cows dying because they were drowning, I believe, well, I guess I hypothesized that it only happens when it is crammed to the max. I don't imagine you'll actually have as many cows as I'm putting in here in your survival worlds. If you recreate this, maybe you will. I don't know what you're into and how many cows you need, but it should work small scale anyways, perfectly fine if you want to build something like this. And as you can see, they're already starting to take damage and die. I'm just gonna keep pushing it, let my frame rate drop. I'm collecting beef standing here. Oh, there it goes. Okay, there's the there's the drops shooting out the top, like I said. Throw that piece back in there. Yeah, these guys are getting shredded. So yeah, I mean, if you want a farm that is 100% efficient and gets you the most leather and beef per capita or whatever, this is not it. If you want something fun and cool, this is the farm you need in your world for sure. All right, so I'm gonna stop spawning them in. As you can see, they're getting shredded. That is just awesome. I love watching that go. It's like, okay. So yeah, we got some boys dying down here. Man, this thing is awesome. I don't care what anybody says. Let's just get a good view here of stuff going on. I wonder why. I guess because the cows die right here. That's why the stuff gets shot out. Because if they died on this side, yeah. See, okay. So once the items go back around the system, then they do get collected. So even if you are standing here AFKing, like overnight or something, and you just accidentally spawn way too many cows and they start getting shredded, you're still gonna get the leather and the beef for it. So it all depends on what you want out of this, I guess. If you're looking for XP for killing the cows, you're probably gonna miss out on some of that. So yeah, this thing is kind of self-correcting, right? Like once there's enough room for all of them, they're gonna pretty much stop dying. You can let this thing run for a very long time before you start to notice that there's like no cows left. Okay, so let's pretend you did everything you wanted to do in Minecraft for the day. You're gonna go take a shower, eat dinner, I don't know, step away from the computer for whatever reason, and you still want to continue farming cows. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna come on over here, turn on the wheat dispenser up top, and wait for it, and that system will start working. And then you want to make sure that your entire inventory is full except your one open hand. Now let's just go to survival, because I noticed the creative mode inventory kind of messes this up a little bit. Stand right here, wheat drops right into your hand, you hold right click and you step away. You set something on your mouse and you do your thing, you live your life, but you're still making those gains in your game. But yeah, of course you can do the same thing with a sword. You can harvest all the cows, or better yet, let's say, you know what? Screw cows. I want no more cows. So what you're gonna do is turn on the purge system. Click the switch. That closes off all of these poor guys, and you can probably hear all the screaming and shouting. They go and meet their demise in this little room right here. And they start to suffocate. There's just way too many cows in one space. It is just brutal and gruesome. It's fun. And yeah, it's not pretty. You're like, oh yeah, I forgot about this part here. When you do this and you shut this off, the cows that were floating in this water right here are gonna get stuck. So I added this little button, and it's just a dispenser with a little bit more water to push them along. And if they can make it up the stream, that's what I was talking about right there. They suffocate. I noticed it does happen a lot more with baby cows. Some with their hitbox maybe. But yeah, so once they're all cleared off here, go ahead and press that button again. The water goes away, and these guys are still having a day over here. Alright, so I think that's all of them, and they're slowly dying still, but I don't have time for this. Delete. Awful sounds coming from these cows. And they all filled in. Delete one more time. Oh, a couple guys made it. Alright, get in there. Okay, and the system is clean. Let it go back to normal. Oh, one guy made it. Yeah, that's right, that's what I thought. Sorry. So there you have it, the completely ridiculous cow farm. As I said, not completely efficient. You're not going to get the most out of this. There are probably better designs, but I'm not playing this game for the most efficient. I'm playing this game for the most fun. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know what sort of cow farm design you use and what other sort of ridiculous things you guys are building. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.